So there was a report today that some new S23 Ultra users have been experiencing S Pen issues, problems with their S Pen randomly disconnecting. And I clicked on the article, and I want to say it's misleading, and it's not inaccurate. However, it was a Reddit thread, and when I was reading through the article, it was basically, I think it was two and then maybe a third, and I say maybe, of people, users, that somebody made an original post saying, hey, my S Pen on my new S23 Ultra randomly disconnects. There was a second person that described in detail, how their S Pen was randomly disconnecting as well. So that's two. There was and I say maybe third, because the third person just randomly said, oh yeah, I'm having that problem too. Something like that. And I don't believe everything that people write on the internet. I know that's hard to believe. I just don't. So, people can say anything just to troll Samsung users. It could be an iPhone user, what have you. So it's basically two people. Let's just say 2.5, whatever. It's literally 2 or 3 people out of, I don't know, how many S23 Ultras have they used? Have they sold? Let's just say 600,000, probably in these last 3 weeks. So you're taking literally, and how many more users have experienced that are not on Reddit? Maybe a few more. I have no idea. However, there's a quick fix. I do not believe, let me just make this clear, I do not believe there is a problem with the S Pen, because one of the users, somebody commented and saying, hey, you have the setting in your settings, S Pen settings, in the settings app of your device, you have to manually select always connect, or have the S Pen always connected to your device, because that option is off, basically. And what that means is your S Pen, to save battery, it charges when you stick it in the phone. It'll charge it wirelessly, just like you do with your phone when you put it on a wireless charger. There's a tiny small battery. Now, it does last a while outside of your phone, probably last a few hours, but to save battery, I think after 10 or 15 minutes of it not being used, it'll turn off. And one of the users was reminded that, who said that their S Pen disconnects, and then they replied to that person that reminded them about this setting. They said, oh, I didn't know that. Let me go check. And then they replied again, and they said, oh, yeah, whatever. I think that's the problem. That's why I think there's not a problem with the S Pen. If you go in now, when you pull it out of your S23 Ultra, it's ready to go. There's nothing, no button you have to push. You don't have to click it. It's ready to go. It turns on automatically by default. However, if you go to settings and then go to advanced features and then select your S Pen, there's a whole bunch of features inside that specific folder in settings, just for your S Pen. And I want to remind all S23 Ultra users, potential users, or even users of the S22 Ultra or Note 20 Ultra or Note 20, Note 10, that please go into your S Pen settings and just simply double check it. because I believe that's the problem. Now, I do have an issue with the Android and/or tech news media. Every time, I mean, did that really need to be reported on? No. And I wasn't going to make a video about it, but after thinking about it for a while, it does annoy me that somebody, to me, it looks like it's clearly user error, and it's not a device error or a Samsung error. And that is also fixable, should be fixable, if it was a problem through a simple software update. So it bothers me that the tech news media, like I'm just saying, like Android Central, I'm not dogging them, but I'm just saying, that's the first name, that media outlet that came to my brain. Tech media outlets like that immediately jump on the story and they say, Samsung users experiencing S Pen disconnects with the new S23 Ultra. Like there's a big issue with the device that was just released. I believe it is user error. It is not Samsung error. It's not a Samsung issue. And I wish some of these people that wrote these articles would dig a little deeper and would basically put two and two together, because it seems like they're just jumping on anything to put any story out, to be the first person to report on this. I got to get this out. It's similar to like a football player that's going to that's a free agent, that's going to sign a contract, or like when Tom Brady was retiring last year, Adam Schefter had to be the first one to put it out. And then, it's just stuff like that. And, it does annoy me. So I went through my S Pen settings before I made this video. There's tons of settings in there. So please double check the settings. Samsung sometimes has too many settings. That's why sometimes I don't recommend a Samsung device for people that are not technically inclined. That's why people jumping from an Apple iPhone and they want to try Android, I get asked that a lot. Excuse me. I recommend going to the Pixel because it is very simple, very basic. It's the closest thing Android has compared to an iPhone as far as basic settings. Samsung, you gotta go. You can get lost in the settings. I got lost in the settings yesterday, and I've been a Samsung user for years, just going through stuff, and I couldn't remember where I found something. And I know that's what the search bar is for in the settings, but I wanted to manually find it and got lost in the settings. But anyways, to repeat, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I do not think Samsung has a problem with the S Pen. I believe it is user error. I believe it's in. One of the people that made a comment in the Reddit thread, and I'll put it in the description, the link to the thread, so y'all can check it out for yourself. One of them said, I haven't had a Samsung in years. Or no, they said even an Android. I think it was a iPhone user just wanting something new, so he switched to a Samsung S23 Ultra. Great choice, by the way. However, that's why I recommend a Pixel for iPhone users that want to try Android. I'm not against going to the S23 Ultra. It's just there's so many settings, so many features. It can easily get confusing. So, not true. No S Pen issues. I honestly believe it's user error. So, if you do believe you had, and go check it out. The settings are cool for the S Pen. They got a ton of cool stuff. Go into the settings, check it out. I would do a screen record to include this video. However, I'm in the car running some errands. So, anyways, just wanted to report that there are no S Pen issues. Zero. Peace.